Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Steve Larson, and you're listening to another episode of Secret MLM Hacks Radio. Oh, yeah. So here's the real mystery. How do real MLMers like us, who didn't cheat and only bug family members and friends, who want to grow a profitable home business, how do we recruit A players into our downlines and create extra incomes, yet still have plenty of time for the rest of our lives? That's the blaring question, and this podcast will give you the answer. My name is Steve Larson, and welcome to Secret MLM Hacks Radio. Hey, what's going on? Hope you don't mind if I throw in a little personality every now and then. Hey, I've been busy over here building an in-home studio, which has actually been a lot of fun. My wife and I, we got married, and we've been living in apartments we lived in apartments for like 5 years, and bought a house, and it's awesome. And going from a little 2-bedroom apartment to, when we were in college and we moved over, and anyway, over to a house, it's a 5-bedroom house. It's awesome. Really, it's been a lot of fun. It's not like massive, but it's way bigger, way bigger than living in an apartment. And it's been fun because, guys, from the stuff that I've been doing and teaching and the internet world, we're able to use I'm not trying to brag. It just, it's a cool achievement. I really think we all should celebrate what cool things are going on in our lives. I could cover the down payment of the house from the stuff on my site, from basically side hustle, from sales of MLM stuff and sales of product and sales. You know what I mean? Like my own stuff. And it was so cool. Such a great feeling. And I'm so excited for you guys to experience that if you've never felt that before. It is one of the most rewarding things that I've ever experienced. So anyway, what I did though is I went and I got a whole bunch of sound panels. And so across all the ceilings, on the walls, all across it, there's the sound panels, all the padded pieces. Then I got the sweet desk that I built and a boom mic and all these cool things. It's been a lot of fun. A black sheet from top to bottom. Got these awesome studio lights and awesome backdrops. And anyway, I'm really excited. And what's so funny is you don't really need all this stuff. It's just fun, and it's been fun to be able to set it all up. And the reason I'm doing it this way, though, is I am getting ready to begin filming the first module for the Secret MLM Hacks course. Now, this is a course that is still in creation. I launched kind of a beta version of it about a year ago, and the response has been like ridiculous. It's been awesome. Over 300, probably about 300 people bought that beta course, and I had great feedback. But what was also nice is people told me the things that they thought were missing, things that they thought maybe were the more challenging concepts, or maybe I didn't explain it enough, or whatever it might be. And so it's cool because I'm recreating not just that course, but whole editions, whole things that I've never actually talked about before, about how I'm actually recruiting and automating my recruiting process inside of my actual my MLM, which is awesome. It's so fun. I'm really, really excited to do it. So one of the things that I wanted to go over and just teach you guys is like, okay, if you are inside of your MLM, right? And again, I never, ever want to anyone to think that I am here to persuade you to leave your MLM. If you love it, stay in it. That's not the purpose of this podcast. That's not the purpose of my business or my culture or what I'm doing or anything. My purpose is merely to help, honestly, the MLM industry understand a little bit more of the internet marketing strategies and product creation strategies, because I think MLM's kind of broken out of the box. And I know that I've said that many times before, but you're just, when you join some company, you're literally the same as everybody else. So how do you actually make yourself, unique? And that's one of the purposes of this podcast. And definitely one of the, it is the major in-depth topic for the new Secret MLM Hacks course coming out. So now to actually figure out what people wanted, right? So start putting yourself in my shoes as far as your downline and your MLM and the products and services that you're selling. I had to start asking people what they wanted. I've made the mistake in the past. Have you ever gone out to a restaurant that you loved and you're like, guys, this restaurant is the best. I absolutely love it. And you take all your friends or you take your family or whatever, significant other, and you go to the restaurant and their response is like, meh. They don't really like it. It's like, whatever. You're like, are you serious? This was so good. Or the movie was amazing, or whatever it is. You've taken some group of people to some place where you loved it, and it was clear that they didn't. That's kind of awkward, isn't it? That is so much like how we treat our MLMs when we approach other people about it. Sometimes we are so sold on our product. We're so sold on the opportunity because we've had time for our brains to put all the pieces together. We've had time for epiphanies to happen and our beliefs to change and our patterns and our behaviors to adjust, right? And we've had time to do that, but the other person hasn't, right? And so you go and you bring them to the restaurant and you say, this is the best food ever, rah, and they don't actually like it. And it's really an awkward experience. And many of us do that when we actually go and we start talking about our MLMs or we start talking about our products, and they're not in the correct state to receive that product. They're not in the state that you were in when you figured out about how cool that product was, right? Or how cool that opportunity was. If instead, when you walk into the restaurant, or before you get there, you start saying, hey, what are you in the mood for? And they say, well, I'm in the mood for Chinese or whatever. You're like, oh, cool. I know this great place. Now it's a lot easier for you to actually, provide a good experience for the other person. Does that make sense? Simply by you asking just what the other person wants. This principle I'm talking about is it comes from a book called Ask by Ryan Levesque, and what he does is he teaches you how to create a course. Jeff Walker does this. Russell Brunson does this. I do it. Anytime I'm about to go create a course or jump into a market or join an MLM or whatever it is, I always run what is called an ask campaign. And what that means is I'm going to spend some time inside that industry asking people what they want. I'm going to spend time asking people what their biggest challenges are, what the biggest concerns are, what things that they wish they had that they don't, what things that they wish were different. And I spend time doing that. And it's been really cool because I've been doing that over the last year and a half-ish. And me doing that has been really, really fun. It's been a cool experience because what ends up happening is now I've asked hundreds of people now, what it is that they're struggling with inside of the MLM world. You know what happens when you ask hundreds of people the same question? Eventually patterns start to emerge. So again, put yourself in my shoes, but as far as your own MLM goes, right? Maybe you should go to your downline and start asking the things that they're struggling with the most, and then go provide those things to them. Does that make sense? Or turn around and say, what things when I was recruiting you or when you were joining this, what things didn't make sense? What things were the hardest parts for you to understand? What things were the things that, honestly were the turnoffs that made you want to turn away? And start getting that kind of feedback back from your downline, or even go ask the upline, hey, could I survey everyone inside your downline and I'll share the data with you? I've done that before, with different companies and things like that. And say, hey, look, I'm going to ask him, that's a popular strategy anyway inside the internet marketing space. Hey, could I go ask everyone what their biggest struggle is? What's so funny is these patterns begin to emerge. One of the first companies I ever built for online, with good, amazing success. It was a company in Florida, and they were selling this water machine. And these guys are awesome. Totally have massive respect for the owner. He's just the man. Still really just love and appreciate his friendship, actually. And this was 3 years ago almost now. And what I did is I said, okay, I want to go and I want to ask this guy's customers what struggles they're having with the product. Okay. And I said, hey, guys, and so it's kind of in the health industry, and I know a lot of you guys might be in like some kind of health MLM or whatever it is. You guys can do this exact same thing. And what I did is I took his existing customer base and I said, hey, existing customer base. And all I did is I wrote a little email and I used Google Forms because it was free. And I just put the question on there, what's your number one biggest question or challenge about health, your health right now? And it was really intense what happened. About 150 people responded to the survey, 150 people. And it's free form, meaning I don't lead them anywhere. They have to literally type in whatever answer they want to. Well, what was funny is all these patterns started to emerge from what they were saying. I was like, oh my gosh, everyone's struggling with these two things. Does the customer know this? Does the business owner know this? I don't think so. And then I was like, oh, and I asked a few more follow-up questions, like, how much money are you spending, on your health right now per month? When they were like, well, anywhere from $200 to $500 or something like that. But I asked that so that now I knew what kind of price point I could charge and not expect massive resistance. The market was telling me what to create, what things I needed to fix. Start looking at your business this way. Guys, when you get your MLM business, it is not whole. It is not complete. It is very broken. Okay? It's very broken. The business is not really built around you. Right? You're just this little tiny arm that's basically a lead generator for a while until you decide to make your business a business, right? Until you decide to make your MLM a business and treat it that way. Does that make sense? So turn around and ask all the people in your downline. And if you don't have a downline, man, go find some upline member who's really enthusiastic, or go find someone else, or whatever it is. But do not rely on your own opinion, or you will not succeed in this. It is my firm, strong belief in that fact, okay? And so what I did with this, coming back to that story, is I found out what these people were needing, what they were wanting. And then all I did is I turned around, we created it, and I gave it to them. Think of, how profound. And then they made a whole bunch of money. Does that make sense? I think it was Tony Robbins that said that the secret to success is, I think it was Tony Robbins. If not, I know Russell says it and a few other marketers say it who are famous. He says, number one, go find a hot market. So ask yourself, is your MLM in a hot market? If not, you should probably change your MLM. Number one, go find a hot market. Number two, ask them what they want. Number three, give it to them. That's really all it is. That's all it takes, you guys. And so when you're going to go through, and so that's what I've been doing for this new product, is I've been serving across many different MLMs, tons of people, hundreds of people, going through and asking, okay, guys, what's your number one biggest challenge? What's your number one question with MLM and how to be successful and how to recruit people into your downlines? And the data has come back, and it's really, really interesting what the biggest things people are struggling with. And what's funny is that I kind of had an inkling that that's what those things were, but there was so much more in depth, far more context than I ever realized before. And guess what I'm making now? So I've got this in-home studio, and now I am going and I am creating a course addressing those things. The market told me what to create. I didn't come up with it on my own. I have an expertise in this area. I know I'm qualified to teach it for sure, right? But the actual course content, the actual table of contents itself is actually coming from the market, not myself. How cool is that? Guys, imagine that. Isn't that awesome? Because what it means is, now imagine that. Imagine you going to your downline and asking them, hey guys, what are you struggling with? Or what was weird about the process signing up? Or you go to other people's downlines, you go, whatever it is, ask someone in, hey, what was kind of weird when we dropped in? Do you imagine how cool it would be if you were the one that provides the solution for your MLM on that? I'm encouraging you to do that. Again, if you hate your MLM, maybe it's time to find a different one. If it's something that you really loathe, or there's just no way that anyone's ever going to do that kind of thing, maybe it's time to switch. But if you love it, don't switch. Just go in and start doing those things and start treating it like a business. Create products, create offers, and actually go fill a need inside of your network marketing company, inside of your MLM. Does that make sense? So that's what I'm doing right now. And again, if you're new to this podcast, what I'm doing right now for the next few episodes is I'm just documenting myself creating this course so that you guys know from a marketer's standpoint, from an internet marketer's perspective and product creator's perspective, myself, what it means to put a new product out there and what it means, because I've helped create several products that are, made millions. It's really exciting, and it's not an income claim. I'm not telling you, I got that legal crap. I can't, but just know that there are patterns to success with this. And when it comes to product creation, guess what? Your MLM owners did the exact same thing. They went, they identified a need. I guarantee they did some form of ask campaign, right? They figured out what it was people actually wanted, and then they just made the thing, right? And then they went and they started testing it slowly. And then they went, all right, does that make sense? I remember there was an MLM meeting that I went to for one of the, it was the first MLM I ever joined. I got out of it because I was young and dumb. And and I went to this meeting and I realized that there was this guy on the side who was selling a solution that the main MLM wasn't willing to fill. And he was like being public about it. And I realized that this dude is making so much more money selling this thing rather than the MLM product. Now, I'm not telling you to go get distracted and go do this, but understand the principle that I'm trying to illustrate here is the same across the board. Go ask the market what it wants, go fill the need, and you will immediately become unique. You will be far more attractive as the leader in your downline, in your MLM business. Right? You'll become a leader like that because you're solving an actual you're actually providing value to the marketplace. And anyway, so that's what I'm doing is I've got a 6-week course that will be coming out, which is awesome. A whole bunch of ridiculous bonuses, things I've charged $10,000 for, no joke, and that are coming out that is free, that are part of it. And you know what's funny is the market has told me that that's what it wants. I didn't come up with those things. Again, I've said that many times, but anyway, that's the whole purpose of this, is that if you want to know how to actually add extra value to your MLM and your upline and start getting the eyes on you, man, guys, massive power inside what you can do if you just merely ask people what they want and then go create it. Anyway, I feel like I'm beating a dead horse now. It's kind of a broken record, but that's the main point of this is that I got the studio. I've been doing ask campaigns for the last year, and I know very clearly what people are struggling with, and so I'm going to go create the solution. I encourage you to go do the same thing inside your downline and get specific like that, and it'll be awesome. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Hey, thanks for listening. Please remember to subscribe and leave feedback for me.
Do you have a question you want answered live on the show? Go to secretmlmhacksradio.com to submit your question and download your free MLM Masters Pack.